Streaming live now on News8000.com. You're watching WKBT La Crosse. This is News 8 Now, This Morning.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Alexandra Carter.
And I'm Art Jarrett.
It is Monday, July 15th. Waking up on this Monday morning, we've got a little bit of fog to contend with and some rain, right?
Yes, fog first, rain coming next.
Okay, quite the Monday lineup.
Exactly. That fog is dense in some locations. Please be safe and take it slow. Let's take a quick peek here as we get into it. You can see the fog and the low cloud activity. We're also seeing late AM showers holding on with storms this evening. Let's carry over to this here. There's the fog setting up, and you can see areas all the way from Eau Claire that keeps fluctuating in and out of the fog, kind of moving back again. You're also seeing Winona holding on to that as well. And we're also picking up the possibility of, again, more fog down to the south, working into areas, of course, La Crosse, Winona, Black River Falls. You're also seeing Red Wing and areas right by Volk Field and Sparta. So the dense fog is going to maintain itself going into the morning hours. And once we get into the 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock hour, you see this batch of rainfall kind of heading closer and closer to Wisconsin. That's going to be moving into our area, and we're going to get a slight chance of showers to storm activity. The northern portion will get hit first, and as it gets closer to us, you'll see it begin to break down, which is fortunate for us indeed. So it gets into more along the lines of just shower activity. You're going to see that continue on as we finish out the morning hours and going into the afternoon. Another batch is going to come in. This one is going to come in a little bit more to our west and kind of work its way closer to us, and that's where we get a saving grace of not having the severe weather that we were really thinking about that we were supposed to have today. I'll have more about that for you in just a bit.
Thank you, Art. We'll see you then. This morning, we're learning more about the 3 men shot during Saturday's campaign rally. Among them, a former firefighter killed while protecting his family. CBS's Jared Hill has the details.
At a firehouse in Buffalo Township, Pennsylvania, time stands still.
He was a family-loving, God-fearing man.
Black cloth hangs around the gear that once belonged to retired fire chief Corey Comparatori, the 50-year-old killed Saturday. Shot trying to shield his young daughters from gunfire that broke out at the Trump rally.
Don't even understand it, how it could happen.
Comparatori was married to his high school sweetheart, Helen. After the shooting, emergency room Dr. Jim Sweetland, who was also attending the rally, tried to save Comparatori's life.
I looked up to see his family, who would witness my efforts at resuscitation, and the look on their faces said it all.
2 other men were also shot Saturday. 57-year-old David Dutch and 74-year-old James Copenhaver, both in stable condition. On social media, the morning after the attempt on his life, former President Donald Trump wrote, "We pray for the recovery of those who are wounded and hold in our hearts the memory of the citizen who was so horribly killed." President Biden Sunday in a rare primetime Oval Office address.
We also extend our deepest condolences to the family of the victims who was killed. Corey was a husband, a father, a volunteer firefighter, a hero.
He wouldn't want to be thought of as a hero, but that's definitely how he should be remembered.
A community in mourning, hoping for peace.
In a private Facebook post, Comparatori's wife Helen wrote her husband died the hero he always was. He would have it no other way. Pennsylvania's governor ordered flags to be flown at half-staff. The assassination attempt of the former president comes as the Republican National Convention is set to kick off this morning in Milwaukee. Over 50,000 attendees, including 2,500 delegates, are expected. Delegates will select the party's presidential and vice presidential nominees over the 4-day event. Speakers include Trump's primary rivals and prominent Republicans. Trump arrived in Milwaukee yesterday, stating on social media that Saturday's events would not alter the RNC schedule. News 8 Now's Ken Kozarowski and Allison Fergut are in Milwaukee with a look at how security is being tightened and what we can expect this week.
In the wake of an assassination attempt in Butler, Pennsylvania on the former president's life, security is the name of the game here at the Republican National Convention. Hello, everyone. I'm Ken Kozarowski, joined by Allison Fergut. We are in downtown Milwaukee, right outside the Fiserv Forum for the Republican National Convention, which will be commencing tomorrow morning throughout the week, ending Thursday night, with Donald Trump being awarded the delegates, presumably to take the nomination to be the Republican nominee for President of the United States. And again, security has been emphasized in the wake of what we have been seeing go underway in Butler, Pennsylvania. We have been talking with law enforcement officials as we've gotten acquainted with the area, gone through various security checkpoints. And Allison, things have been very thorough. I mean, everybody's doing a fantastic job. Everyone's been very approachable and honestly cordial, even in the wake of what we saw in Pennsylvania yesterday.
Yeah, it's very impressive how approachable and kind everyone has been to us and patient with us as well. But there is, strict security measures going on right now. When we go through the media checkpoints, those security checkpoints for media, we had dogs sniff our Photogs bags just to make sure that there wasn't anything there. So they are being very serious about their jobs, they're taking it very seriously, but they also have good spirits with them, which is great to see right now.
Yeah, there is that sentiment that what has been planned for months and months and months is ready to work for all of these law enforcement officials, whether it's Secret Service or from state trooper or patrols or local officials from Milwaukee. Everyone has that kind of confident sense that what has been in the works is going to work. And if anything, officials on the ground here have told us we might see a slightly more increased Secret Service presence. But as it stands right now, media, as we've been walking around the hard perimeter here around the Pfizer Forum, law enforcement outnumber media by at least 4 to 1.
Oh, definitely.
It's been heavy.
Yes, I mean, and we're seeing law enforcement from all over the country. We spoke with people from California to Indiana to New York City. I mean, they're coming from all over to make sure that this area is safe and secure. And earlier at a press conference, the RNC's coordinator for the Secret Service says that they have no plans to really change anything that they're going to be doing.
That's right.
So we're confident in the current plan that we have. It is based off of technical assessments, protective intelligence, and we are continuously monitoring information related to the event. So we're confident in the plans that we have, and we're moving forward with those plans.
And tomorrow there are protests planned against the RNC that are going to be about a block away. They will not be in the secured perimeter at all. They did make an agreement with the Milwaukee Police Department. It's a handshake agreement is what they're calling it. But the march, the right to march at the coalition to march at the RNC will be doing that protest. But they are very confident, Ken, that it is not going to be anything to worry about. They're very confident that it's going to be safe and peaceful, which is great to hear.
Absolutely. Now, there have been concerns in what we've seen come out of the events over in Butler, Pennsylvania, that someone had the opportunity and took it to bring a rifle into that circumstance and make an attempt on a former president's life. So obviously that is another concern here. And what kind of gun restrictions would be allowed was a big question mark heading into the area. Now, within this hard perimeter, we have black gates around several blocks. It's about a 5-block radius or so. Within those gates, guns are not allowed here at the Republican National Convention. Now, outside those gates, immediately outside, it all falls onto state law, which has very specific restrictions on the kinds of firearms, but does not all in all outlaw all of them. And I know we've known Governor Evers has tried to promote ordinances or enactments to ban essentially all firearms from the area, but state law would preempt any kind of city ordinance that Milwaukee aldermen and women would have considered. And they did consider things like that in the weeks leading up to this RNC, but ultimately nothing was enacted. So within the hard perimeter, guns are an absolute no-go. And again, with the heavy security presence that we have seen thus far, officers feel, and you can kind of get that feeling that they are confident in the things that they've put in place to make sure this RNC goes smoothly.
Yeah, and I definitely think, too, for every media person that's come through, any person who's been working with the RNC, and any civilians that are just walking around outside of that perimeter, I think nobody feels any sort of danger. Everyone feels very secure and safe within here right now.
And the person who definitely feels safe and secure is Donald Trump. He made that abundantly clear on his Truth Social platform. He did not want anything to derail his schedule. He arrived in Milwaukee around 6 o'clock. We have not seen any kind of motorcade in the general area, but Donald Trump on schedule, ready to embrace this Republican National Convention that is essentially for him, to give him the nomination at the end of this week. So the stage is set. The theme tomorrow for day one of the RNC is about the economy, making America wealthy once again. We will be bringing you coverage throughout the week, every single day of the RNC, hopefully speaking with local representatives from the state of Wisconsin, perhaps a few delegates if we're able to be lucky as we go around the RNC area. So for Allison Frigate, I'm Ken Kozorowski saying back to you in the studio.
Ken and Allison will continue to cover the Republican National Convention from Milwaukee. We'll keep you updated throughout the week. Taking a look at Wisconsin's race for the Senate, Republican candidate Eric Hovde made a stop in La Crosse Saturday as part of his Restore the American Dream road trip. The politician held a meet and greet on French Island, addressing numerous issues facing Wisconsinite voters. Combating the fentanyl crisis and closing the southern border were some of the topics. Hovde also offered a strong stance against the use of ballot drop boxes, saying they erode people's faith and confidence in our electoral process.
I'm very concerned about ballot boxes. Why did they need to come into place? They were brought about during COVID. You have deep concerns about our election integrity, and using ballot boxes now when there's no need for them, particularly that we're not in the middle of a pandemic.
Hovde also pressed on drops in literacy rates, saying only 27% of children can read at grade level in Wisconsin. A UW La Crosse faculty committee recommends firing former Chancellor Joe Gao from his tenured faculty position for his involvement in online pornography. The committee's report states Gao engaged in unethical and potentially illegal conduct, violated its policies, and caused potential harm to the university. His admission of involvement in pornography was deemed the most serious misconduct. In response, Gao said, quote, "Although this isn't the decision we wanted, Carmen and I remain firmly committed to defending free speech and expression. We're in this for the long run, and we look forward to a public hearing with the UW Board of Regents." The recommendation now goes to the full UW Board of Regents for a final decision. The time now is 6:11. Still ahead on your morning news, a bakery makes a sweet deal with the Republican National Convention. Women are set to inherit trillions in the upcoming years, and how inflation is impacting Social Security payment rates. And airport lounges are working hard to be sites of luxury for travelers. More on how lounges are in a competition to impress consumers. For now, we're sending you to break with something to put the good in your morning. California's Oakland Zoo released some of their fire goats on the hills of the zoo grounds over the weekend in an effort to mitigate the possibility of a blaze erupting near the site during California's wildfire season. Video released by the zoo shows the goats having an all-you-can-eat buffet while helping protect the park. The zoo said the goats get some delicious natural food as a reward for their efforts, and it's an eco-friendly way to help mitigate the fire risk. And for now, we are taking a live look at Milwaukee outside Pfizer Forum. Former President Trump expected to make his first public appearance here since the assassination attempt. That'll happen later today. This comes as the nation awaits the former president to announce who he'll choose to be his running mate. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Save big Monday through Sunday at Hy-Vee. All natural chicken breasts, just $3.88. Driscoll strawberries, just $2.44 a pound when you buy a 2-pound pack. And Hy-Vee yogurt, 3 for just $1. Monday through Sunday at Hy-Vee.
Listen to Senator Tammy Baldwin.
What is your view of the Biden presidency?
It is one of the most successful administrations in generations.
Most successful in generations? Inflation is sky high. Our border is wide open. Drugs flood our streets. The world is in chaos.
One of the most successful administrations in generations.
If this is success, we're in big trouble.
I'm Eric Hovde, and I approve this message.
At Blaine's Farm and Fleet, we get you quality pet supplies because we get you. Right now, during our summer pet care sale, shop unbeatable deals on your pet's favorite food and supplies to keep them happy and healthy. Like a free $15 Blaine's gift card when you buy select bags of Hill's Science Diet dog food. Assorted Blaine's Naturals, grain-free, and specialty dog food as low as $34.99. Also, make backyard projects a breeze with this Simpson pressure washer, $50 off.
Find value at Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
Dental implants are often the best solution to severe dental issues. If you have infection in your mouth, it does cause trouble other places. A lot of people ignore infection for way too long. And when they finally do something about it, they say not only do they like what they did here, but they feel better overall. In the end, you can have a smile you're proud of and a very healthy mouth.
We're an implant-focused practice. If you think you have a full mouth of challenges, come see us. Come down for a free consultation.
This is Kathy. She's about to see her dentist. She's afraid. Not because of the drill, but because of the bill. A big bill. But Kathy doesn't need to be afraid, and neither do you, thanks to affordable dental insurance from Physicians Mutual Insurance Company. it's easy to get this coverage. Don't believe me? Call or go online for all the details. You could even have this free information kit. This isn't a discount plan or preventive-only coverage. This is real dental insurance. It helps pay for over 400 procedures. That's a lot. I'm talking cleanings, fillings, crowns, bridges, root canals, even dentures. Bottom line, you'll have help paying for routine care and expensive major work. But if you want deductibles, forget it. There aren't any. No annual maximum either. Plus, you can see any dentist you want. Stop fearing the big bill. Start saving at the dentist. Call now or go to sendinfokit.com.
Physicians Mutual, Physicians Mutual.
Save big Monday through Sunday at Hy-Vee. Lay's, Kettle Cooked, Rolled Gold, or Munchies, $1.99 each when you buy two. Jack's Pizza, $2.98. And buy two, get one free on Coke or Topo Chico Sabores. Monday through Sunday at Hy-Vee.
Well, happy Monday to you. Starting off your early Monday with some dense fog out here. You can see from Eau Claire to Winona all the way to Black River Falls. La Crosse is in that, Preston, Austin. You're also seeing that in Sparta, down to Volkfield, Viroqua, all the way to Decorah as well, and about 2 miles visibility down south to areas right by Boscoville. This dense fog is going to stick with us as we go through the morning hours. Then following that, we have strong storms kind of moving in. We have a 30% chance of that in the late morning hours and back again for the afternoon and into the evening hours. And that'll go from about 2 o'clock all the way to about maybe 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. to finish out the day. In fact, here's the first batch coming in a little bit closer. You see some storm activity associated with that as well. This will be a marginal risk up for areas by Ladysmith and areas by Eau Claire. For us here locally, it will be a level 2 risk, which is a slight risk for severe weather. Here's the deal, though. We get into current temperatures. We're looking at 60s and 70s. We are primed for severe weather. We are primed for some good rainfall, but it may just not happen as much as we expect. We get into the dew points. You can see there are 60s and 70s right now. The system comes in and it's going to slowly but surely work its way over to Eau Claire, Ladysmith. They get it first, but it breaks down and turns more into a light rainfall possibly as it gets to our area. We may see a little thunderstorm activity to the west side of us, and then we'll see it exit as at least a light shower or so getting out of the area. So this system that I'm talking about that we kind of lose out on severe weather because it was supposed to start up to the north again, but right now it's going to start off to the west of us, and then most of that rainfall, the heavy stuff, will work down to the south. When I come back, I'll give you a better view of how this all plays out, so stick around.
In your consumer news this morning, a nearly 100-year-old Wisconsin bakery has become a bipartisan bakery. The bakery recently faced backlash after creating RNC-themed cookies, which some viewed as a political statement. In response, they quickly introduced DNC cookies as well. This balanced approach led to the Milwaukee Host Committee inviting the nearly 100-year-old bakery to be a partner vendor for the RNC. Women are set to inherit trillions of dollars in the coming years in what's being called the Great Horizontal Wealth Transfer. According to a report, over the next 20 to 30 years, aging baby boomers and older generations are expected to pass down $84 trillion in wealth to family members and charities. $9 trillion of that is expected to go to spouses and partners. And because women typically outlive men, much of that will go to women. Women now make up more than 11% of the world's millionaires, nearly double the share from 2016. Inflation is cooling down, which could impact the amount seniors receive for Social Security payments next year. It has to do with the cost of living adjustments. Social Security recipients can expect payments to increase about 2.6% in 2025. Last year's cost of living increase was 3.2%. Cost of living adjustments for Social Security are determined using data from July through September. So if inflation continues to cool, that adjustment could be smaller. There's a new unlikely battle brewing just in time for the busy travel season to heat up. It's taking place inside airport lounges, a perk offered by many credit card companies, including Amex and Chase. Bradley Blackburn takes us inside what some are calling a lounge war.
There's a place where flying feels glamorous again. This is the Chase Sapphire Lounge at New York's LaGuardia Airport.
Is this the largest Chase Lounge?
It is. It's about over 21,000 square feet, so it's the largest one we have to date.
Chase's Dana Powell showed us how it has everything from full meals and craft cocktails to spa services. There's a playroom for young children and a game room for kids of any age. Once you're inside, all of it is free for cardholders who pay a $550 annual fee and their guests.
Obviously, it costs money to provide all this to your customers, but you find this is a reason that people retain their cards.
So it's one of the top reasons people both get and keep their card.
Airport lounges are a fierce battlefield for credit card companies, hoping to bank customers. American Express's Centurion lounges are in almost 30 locations around the globe, and Capital One is expanding quickly too.
The market is moving so fast. I think even since we introduced some of these features, we're seeing more and more of the competition begin to mimic them.
It's families, it's leisure travelers.
Lounges are one reason the points guy Brian Kelly says cards with high annual fees of $500 or more can be worth it.
Concessions in airports, bottles of water are $10. You've got a family and you can go to the lounge and get everyone fed and happy on a flight. There's a huge value to that.
70% of interest in fee-based credit cards comes from millennials and Gen Z. That's why these spaces are now built for young families like Mike and Tracy Wall and their daughter Madeline.
Anything you can do to make traveling with a toddler easier is well worth it.
Lounges determined to win friends in a war where travelers might be the winners.
Cheers.
Cheers.
That's it for your morning consumer news. The time now is 6:20. Let's check in with News 8 meteorologist Art Jarrett for a look at our forecast.
All right, I'm excited about the weather, but it's looking better for us, and we may see limited amounts of severe weather coming into the area today. Patchy to dense fog. We have, again, late AM showers, and then we have storms coming in into the afternoon and into the evening hours. You can see that it's about a 30% chance for the morning and about a 40% chance for tonight. So that's a deal right there for us. It's not that big of a rain chance coming in. You can see it starting out coming into Minneapolis there, and then eventually it gets a lot closer. We are in a slight risk for severe weather here in La Crosse, area southward as well, all the way up to Winona. Then north of that by Black River Falls, you're in the mix of both marginal risk and severe, slight risk for severe weather, all the way to Eau Claire as well as portions of Ladysmith. Now that being said, we have damaging winds on the way for us here for La Crosse. We also have large hail and about a 2% chance or so for tornadoes moving up or spinning up for us here today. You're going to see it kind of come in, and slowly but surely it kind of works its way to Eau Claire. Ladysmith, you're in the mix with the heavy storm activity coming in. This is at 9 a.m. in the morning. Red Wing, you're in it. Rochester, Winona's going to get a clip of that as well. But we start to see it break down as it gets closer to La Crosse. That being said, you may see a slight thunderstorm kind of moving into the picture, but then it turns into mostly just a round of, well, I will just call it just strong storms actually coming into the picture to the north, but we get at least some showers out of that, maybe light to moderate kind of working out of the area, but don't discount it. We'll also see as we finish out by the 11 a.m. hour into the noon hour and beyond into the afternoon, there is a slight risk for well, call it more showers and storms coming back in, but you're going to see it pick up by the time we get in the 3 o'clock hour, going into the 4 o'clock hour with rainfall in our area. And now storm activity continues to move. Now this system was supposed to come up a little bit more to the north and work its way down. It's fortunately coming in from the west and then kind of moving down and bringing a lot more rainfall down to the south. We're still getting severe weather, but not as much as we were expecting. So the good news is that's going to be more down to the south, unfortunately, for folks like Decorah, Boscobel, and Prairie du Chien. They're going to get the heavy stuff. We see them. They get now that storm activity gets out of the way. We have a break until about 8 o'clock in the evening hours, and then you can see more storms are on our way. That means the northern areas get now a break going all the way into tomorrow. We get the showers that linger with us all the way to 10 o'clock before it all begins to break down and gets out of the way, and you see more along the lines of some light showers kind of working in possibly as we finish out going into a Tuesday. Then more comes back in the 9 p.m. hour for the remainder of the night for Tuesday, and then you see maybe some light showers coming in for Wednesday, and they are about a 10 to 20% chance. We carry over and how this all plays out over the next few days. You're going to go into 89 degrees for today. It's going to be hot. It's going to be humid. It's going to start off with fog and low cloud activity with storm activity. Cooler for tomorrow and Wednesday, though. 80s, those low 80s to the upper 70s. Then we bump those temperatures back up again for Thursday going into your weekend, where temperatures return back into the low to middle 80s. Back to you.
Thank you, Art. The time now is 6:24. Still ahead, a new study is finding that sex and gender are mapped in 2 different parts of the brain. We'll take a look at how the study's authors say the new discovery is helping us learn more about the brain coming up.
Coming up in sports, we've got playoff football in July as the La Crescent girls flag football team took the Vikings TCO Stadium, plus the Brewers trying to end the first half on a high note. All of that coming up in the Morning Blitz.
And all eyes are on Milwaukee this week as we take a live look at the Pfizer Forum, where the RNC will officially kick off in just a few hours. News 8 has a team there, and we will keep you updated throughout the week.
It's a lot quieter around here than it used to be. I'm Rebecca Cook. When I was growing up, this farm was bustling. Holsteins, hired hands, harvesting crops. But big corporations put family farms like mine out of business. And what has Derek Van Orden done? Nothing. Tax cuts for big ag, rising healthcare costs, undermining our democracy, extremism. We need real working people in Washington. And that's why I approve this message.
What do we think? Burglary gone wrong? More like a chilling spree.
You see it all too often. When you don't take care and maintain your system, it's all too easy for problems to pop up when you need it the most.
It's hard to stay cool under pressure.
Proper service and maintenance is worth its weight in the cold.
I'm not a fan of having problems. What can you do?
Call G&T as soon as humanly possible.
Don't lose your cool this summer. Call G&T Heating and Air Conditioning today.
If you've been hurt in a car accident, you need the personal injury attorneys of Schwabel, Getz & Sieben. Our experienced attorneys are 100% committed to helping our clients receive a fair and equitable settlement. Schwabel, Getz & Sieben can use their size and resources to fight big insurance companies and ensure the best compensation possible for you. Call the personal injury powerhouse Schwabel, Getz & Sieben or visit schwabel.com to receive a free case consultation. Representing accident victims for over 50 years.
Sanja loves to bake cupcakes or cookies, but her feet, they were throbbing. Then one day, I found a solution. Arch supports from the Good Feet store.
Try them for yourself with a free arch support fitting and test walk at the Good Feet store.
Welcome to the Morning Blitz. Yesterday, the La Crescent Girls High School flag football team made their way to the Vikings TCO Stadium for some playoffs. If you missed this story over the weekend, I recommend checking it out on our website. But La Crescent, along with a few other schools, are carving the path for girls flag football in the state of Minnesota. Along with the help of the Vikings, the hope is to grow the sport to the point where it can be sanctioned as a high school sport. It's the first year of the league, but the girls were out there showing what it's all about. Before we get to the highlights, a big shout out to the Houston Hurricane team. They weren't originally a part of the 4-team league, but when a team dropped out, Houston was able to get 16 girls together and form a team on short notice. And that's who La Crescent matched up with in game 1 of the day. And it wouldn't take long for the Lancers to score. Just minutes into the game, and Abby Ernster throws it up to Savannah Klinsky, who makes an awesome grab in the end zone. Lancers take the lead. Later in the half, Cami Esser in at QB. She throws it up to Brooklyn Mitchell. Another Lancer touchdown, and Mitchell was just getting started. Second half, Eve Cody now playing quarterback, and she goes to the end zone. It's Mitchell again, another score as the Lancers take the win 38-8, and that puts them through to the championship game. They were going up against a tough Rosemount team, but just seconds into the game, check out Kaylin Ingram. Comes out of nowhere for the interception. Lancers take over, and they would capitalize. Cody finds Ernster for the score. La Crescent takes the lead. Let's jump to the second half. Lancers down 8 with just a few minutes to play, but Cody connects with Klinsky, and Klinsky finds some space. She's going to go all the way in for the score. Lancers pull within 1, and they were going for the win. 2-point conversion from 10 yards out, but the pass is off the hands of the receiver as the Lancers fall short 27-26. But on a day like yesterday, everybody was a winner.
Coming together and bonding with new teams and just trying something new, it really led me to have fun and more experience. And then we're here, but I know we didn't win, but it's okay, we got them next year. But I had fun. I really love this.
100% play football. I don't care if you're weak, if you're strong, just play it. You'll get better as long as you go. Coaches help, everyone helps. It's just amazing. It's a great community, great personality. It just helps you so much for sports and all.
The girls also got the chance to chat with Vikings players Harrison Phillips and Blake Cashman, who were at the games, showing their support. MLB action. Last game before the All-Star break, Brewers hosting the Nationals. First inning, man on second for Willy Adames, and Adames sends this one high and deep to right. One bounce, and it's over the wall for a ground rule double. Brewers take a 1-0 lead. Now 2-1 in the third, and with 2 men on, Joey Ortiz lines one out to right. And oh, the defense just misses it. Both runners will score as Ortiz is in with an RBI error-assisted triple. Fourth inning, Garrett Mitchell at the plate, and Mitchell is going to take a trip around the bases. This one's off the wall in center field for a 2-run home run as Milwaukee goes into the All-Star break with a 9-3 win over Washington. Home Run Derby is tonight, All-Star game on Tuesday, and games resume on Friday. That'll do it for the Blitz. We'll see you tonight.
You earn trust by making a commitment and sticking to it. By telling the heartwarming stories with the same consistency and dedication as the difficult ones. And being there when needed, all day, every day. We work hard for this trust, not just because we love what we do, but because we, like you, expect more. We are News 8 Now.
To everyone making time for life's best moments, let us celebrate with you.
In Wisconsin, we love celebrating together.
Big days or any other day.
So much.
From hot and juicy to ooey gooey.
To oh my word.
Oh my word. Serving you a handcrafted meal that makes
Today, a little bit more special.
That's what fills us up inside.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
Chevy lets you begin every day fully charged, so you can go farther. And so can your money. Tow with confidence. Plus, stay connected with available OnStar technology. For summer adventures, Chevy's got you. Get 1.9% financing on this 2024 Silverado when you finance with GM Financial. Or get $5,750 total value when you trade in an eligible vehicle. Visit HometownChevy.com.
Are you ready for a red-hot summer? At King Furniture, our prices are... Get your choice of these quality Jackson sets for $11.99. Need something more custom? Check out these 5 England sets for just $14.98. Available in your choice of over 100 fabrics. And in your home in just 30 days. Need a new recliner for Dad? We have hundreds of recliners all on sale and in stock. Get into King Furniture while the prices are...
Are you in need of a new water heater? Here at Maxwell White, we offer the best solutions for homeowners in La Crosse and the surrounding areas. Being the best means installing the best. Our American-made Bradford White water heaters can revolutionize your home and give you the home comfort you've always wanted. Contact Maxwell White today to find out how a professionally installed Bradford White water heater is right for your home. Our expert technicians will answer all of your questions and find the best possible solution for you. Maxwell White, plumbing done right.
Celebrating 70 years, we're News 8 Now. You expect more, so thank you for watching News 8 Now.
In your morning medical news, the CDC confirms 4 poultry workers in Colorado have contracted bird flu. Those workers who experienced mild symptoms, including irritated eyes, fever, and runny nose, likely caught the virus through direct contact with infected birds at a commercial egg operation. None had to be hospitalized. These are the 9th human cases of bird flu since the 2022 outbreak. The CDC maintains the risk of human-to-human transmission and spread to the general public still remains low, but they continue to monitor the situation. A new study is finding that sex and gender are mapped in different parts of the brain, suggesting they have unique influences on people. The study used brain imagery, interviews, and other data collection on nearly 5,000 9- and 10-year-olds over a 10-year period. Sex was defined as physical anatomy, and gender was defined as attitudes, feelings, and behaviors. The study's author said sex and gender should be considered separately in order to better understand the brain, and that they both heavily influence a person's behavior and health. Tiny triathloners took to the streets and pools of Onalaska Saturday as the local YMCA hosted its 15th annual Kids Triathlon. Children aged 3 to 14 competed in age-appropriate divisions, tackling swimming, biking, and running challenges. An event official highlighted the day's most rewarding aspect.
So many kiddos and their families come out, and some of these kids, it's their first time doing something like this, and just to see the joy on their face when they're crossing the finish line is definitely my favorite part.
All the money raised will support a variety of programs at the Y. The 52nd annual Catfish Days in Trempealeau were held over the weekend. Some of the events there included a catfish bike tour, classic car show, and a fishing tournament. The festivities concluded yesterday with a catfish parade that showcased a delightful array of floats, bands, and community spirit. About 80 entries participated in the parade, making it a memorable end to the celebration. The La Crosse Jazz Orchestra celebrated its 50th anniversary last night, marking the start of the 2024 In the Park concert series. The orchestra will perform at Riverside Park for the next 3 consecutive Sundays, bringing jazz to the heart of La Crosse, featuring talented musicians from across the Midwest, including Madison Stevens Point and Minneapolis. The orchestra showcases the region's rich jazz talent.
People love the music. We love the music. We could go play this on our own and just practice and do that. It's nothing without the audience. It's so much fun.
Their featured concert is set for August 4th. The time now is 6:36. Here's News 8 meteorologist Art Jarrett to tell us what to expect on our Monday morning commute.
Well, I tell you, fog, and that's going to hold on to the late morning hours. You're looking at widespread dense fog across the area. Eau Claire down to Winona, La Crosse, Sparta, Black River Falls, all the way down to Viroqua, Preston, Austin, you're in it as well. All other areas, Red Wing, you're in it as well. You're looking at 1 mile visibility for Wisconsin Rapids and extending down to Boscobel with dense fog there. Once we lose the dense fog, we get into the storms right in the morning and again into the afternoon and into the evening hours. And it will be severe in some cases. Please make no mistake, it's a 30% chance to a 40% chance. But yeah, it's going to be pretty wild going into areas by Ladysmith first, then Eau Claire. Then it begins to slowly break down as it gets a little bit closer to areas by La Crosse. It turns into more like maybe a slight chance of a storm, but turns into some heavier rainfall working to the area. That will continue all the way into the noon hour, and then eventually this system that comes in, which was supposed to be higher and a little bit stronger, well, it's going to be more to our west and down. It's going to be pushing more of that rainfall down to the south, so that's a saving grace. So we're looking at least maybe a half an inch or so, or less in some cases, because all that rainfall is moving southward. You can see by the time we finish in La Crosse for this morning, you get a slight chance of showers. We'll also see a slight chance for Eau Claire as well. And then finishing out, you're going to be looking at the possibility of increasing clouds this morning with at least partly to mostly cloudy skies for the better part of the day. Back to you.
Before we head to break, it's time to look at today's Look Who's 8.
And it's Elliot. He's turning 8 months today. He's always smiling.
And Brazelyn is turning 8 years old today. She loves being around animals and playing outside with her friends.
Hey, if you know a special someone turning 8 weeks, 8 months, 8 years, 18, 80, or 88 years old, soon we'd love to feature them.
Just upload their photo to our website, news8000.com, and look for the Submit Pictures button underneath the Home tab. Coming up on why Lyme disease is spiking midsummer and what it means for your outdoor plans, and some expert advice. That's all coming up.
Chart your career with a welding position at Chart Industries. Do you have a year or more of welding experience? Starting wages up to $35 per hour. We have the job for you. Apply today at jobs.chartindustries.com.
You earn trust by making a commitment and sticking to it. By telling the heartwarming stories with the same consistency and dedication as the difficult ones. And being there when needed, all day, every day. We work hard for this trust, not just because we love what we do, but because we, like you, expect more. We are News 8 Now.
Are you finding bathing and bathroom business has gotten more difficult? Bad hips, bad knees can pose a problem. Just getting up and down can be risky. There is a simple, affordable solution. In just a day or two, you can have a beautiful new walk-in shower, safe and easy to care for with grab bars, a handheld shower, and a seat if you like. Set an appointment with one of our designers to plan your new bath. Better products at lower prices because we care. The Board Store.
What kind of a loan officer do you think you deserve? I know that's a very tough question to answer. Here's what I think. I think you deserve a loan officer that is willing to look you in the eye before you take on a lot of debt and say, are you sure? If that's what you're looking for in a lender, call Firefighters Credit Union today.
Everybody's welcome at Firefighters Credit Union.
Ram is built to serve, and you'll find the Ram you're looking for at Pischke Motors in West Salem or Pischke Motors La Crosse.
Make this the summer with a Ram 1500. Stop into Pischke Motors now during our last call to save over $10,000 off MSRP on select 2024 Ram 1500s. They're on clearance. Great prices. Get them before they're gone. With unparalleled durability, towing, hauling, Ram's 1500 has you covered. Hurry in. This offer ends July 31st.
Start your search at Pischke.com and then drive away in your new Ram.
Chart your career with a welding position at Chart Industries. Do you have a year or more of welding experience? Starting wages up to $35 per hour. We have the job for you. Apply today at jobs.chartindustries.com.
Well, once again, good morning to you. We are in patchy to dense fog, and I would say most of the area is in dense fog right about now. There's only a couple of places that aren't, and they are a little bit more to our west and to our north. We have some showers coming in later on into the late morning hours, then more along the lines of storms coming in deeper into the afternoon and evening hours, and it's going to be severe in some cases. We're going to see the possibility of a 30% chance for the morning and a 40% chance for tonight. And it's kind of a saving grace that we're losing out on some of this storm activity because some of it is coming in to the west, and it's going to be dipping down to the south a lot faster. This first comes in from the north. Most of the locations we're supposed to do that today. That puts us in a severe threat for a slight risk for severe weather. And then to the north, you can see by Eau Claire all the way up to Ladysmith, they're in a marginal risk, which is a lower risk for severe weather. So right now, what we're going to be seeing today, damaging winds, possibility of large hail also, and then maybe a spin-up tornado to finish the day. We'll also see this coming in, as you can see, from Minneapolis and then working its way into Eau Claire, Ladysmith first, Winona, then it starts to pick up for La Crosse. We're looking at some lighter rainfall in the form of maybe a shower, maybe even a slight chance of a storm as it hits us. But you see the storm activity still well to the north. We finish out by Eau Claire going into the 11 a.m. hour for the morning, and then that is more along the lines of some heavy rainfall in the form of showers. This second line was supposed to come up from the northwest, but now it's coming in from the west, so that means we're not going to see that much of the storm activity as much as we would have earlier. Now it's going to be over us. We still get storm activity. We have a slight chance for severe weather, and just remember that's going to continue stronger down to the south. This was supposed to be over us, but now it's going to be by Decorah, Prairie du Chien, Boscobel, as well as portions of Wisconsin Dells. Then there's another batch coming in. The third round comes in. That's going to be right over us with heavy rainfall and storm activity through your evening commute, going right into the end of the evening commute. And of course, as you finish out for tonight, going into 10 o'clock, it starts to move away from La Crosse, hits over by Viroqua, Sparta, and Vogue Field, and Wisconsin Rapids, and then it's almost done out of the area. Then we get a slight break in the overnights to mostly clear skies. That puts us back in the fog with a little bit more of that light rainfall, possibly maybe a pop-up storm or two into the area as we go into Tuesday, but it's more along the lines of about a 10 to 20% chance. So it's really not a major threat for us as we finish out Tuesday and even going into Wednesday, which is even a little bit less, about a 10% chance or less of rainfall popping through the area. That being said, we take a quick peek at how this all looks. You're going to see this rainfall coming in storm activity as wide as it can be. I'm giving you a wider view of how this all plays out. And you can see by the time Tuesday, the heavier rainfall is headed over to Milwaukee. That being said, take a look here as we go into the next 8 days. We're going to pop this in at 89 degrees today, hot and humid conditions. Then we cool it on down for Tuesday and Wednesday. 70s come back again for Wednesday, Thursday, back in the 80s for the weekend. Be safe out there.
Officials are reporting a surge in Lyme disease cases. To help our viewers stay informed and protected during this peak season, we're joined this morning by Gunderson Health System infection preventionist Megan Meller. Good morning, Megan.
Good morning.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we're happy to have you. So we heard that there's a spike in Lyme disease cases right now. Tell us a little bit about what's driving this.
So Lyme disease is very prevalent in Wisconsin, and in fact, cases have been increasing across the state. They've more than doubled within the past 15 years.
Wow.
And so each, even looking back to 2022, cases are on the rise. So we're seeing the same trends continue this summer here.
Okay.
And with outdoor activities in full swing, tell me, how does one protect themselves?
Well, so the thing with Lyme disease is it's spread by ticks of all different sizes, even like the ones that are very, very tiny.
Okay.
So it's really important when you're outside to use insect repellent. So you could use something like with DEET or even like lemon eucalyptus.
Okay.
But it's also wearing like long sleeves, so it's really preventing the ticks from latching on you in the first place.
Okay.
So doing that, wearing repellent, and then in your gardens and lawns, making sure that you're reducing the grasses, because that's where tick habitat, or that's where ticks like to stay. So like I said, it's being very mindful of like your whole environment and also what's on your person.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that bug spray is very important. I'm trying to get in that habit. I am.
Absolutely.
I have a little one. So what symptoms should we be on the lookout for?
So early Lyme disease can present with a rash. We typically know of like what's called a bullseye rash.
Okay.
But we're like kind of like a clearing in the middle. But not all cases start like that. And so some might have what we call non-specific symptoms. Could be a fever, a headache, muscle aches, body aches. So if you have any of those symptoms and you know you've been outside recently, it's really important to go in and see a doctor.
Okay. All right. Good advice there.
All right, so let's put it this way here. If someone suspects a tick bite, what do they look for?
So if you suspect a tick bite, or even if you've pulled a tick off you, because I think that's what we typically see more often is someone's like, oh, I pulled a tick off of me and now I'm having these symptoms. It's really important to go to the doctor once you start having those symptoms. Now, not every tick bite will lead to developing symptoms, but ticks can also spread a host of other infections too. So I think no matter what, if you know you've had a tick bite and you're just feeling off, it's really important to go see a doctor.
Okay. And so as we see these cases increase, especially over the past 15 years, any new treatments or anything like that you can tell us about?
So infection.
That's all right.
Lyme disease in itself is really treatable. There's an antibiotic, really common antibiotic over the market that providers, they kind of know. It's like, oh, you're coming in for Lyme disease, we're going to give you doxycycline.
Okay.
But what's really exciting is there's a new vaccine that's coming out, or it's in stage 3 clinical trials right now, and it seems to be very promising.
Okay.
So fingers crossed that this will be something that we'll be able to take in the future.
Yeah.
And right now what I'm hearing about is that it will be like a single shot that you take every single year, just as a kind of a preventative way to prevent Lyme disease.
Yeah, that's great, because as it progresses, some of those symptoms can be pretty debilitating.
Absolutely. There's cases of Lyme disease, like the bacteria causing infections of the heart. We see like sometimes like neurological symptoms too. And really once it gets to those stages, it's a lot harder to treat. Like they're still treatable, it just requires more intensive interventions compared to taking an antibiotic for 2 weeks.
Right, okay. All right, Art, I know you had a couple other questions you wanted to ask.
I want to know how or what's going on? How did all this come about? I mean, before we didn't hear about ticks a lot when we were little kids, but now it's all the time. When did this start up and why?
So I think it's always been here, but it also, like I said, it's been increasing in the past 15 years. So we're just seeing more and more of it. And I think in the age of like full transparency of even like celebrities drawing awareness to this, it's causing, it's helping us realize too that this is an issue. Pets too, we hear about like preventing tick bites on our dogs, because dogs can also, they like to roam in the woods.
Yeah.
They're gonna carry ticks. They might carry them inside the house. So I think we're just hearing more and more of it, and that awareness is causing us to then recognize those symptoms when we first have them and get treated.
Yeah. All right. Well, great advice there. So yeah, don't forget the bug spray as we head outside this summer.
Yeah, don't forget the bug spray, and I'm all for the long socks and long pants, especially in the heat of summer, because again, like I said, those ticks can be really tiny. And some people, what I've seen, they don't even know they've had a tick bite, and they're developing these symptoms of Lyme disease or other like tick-borne infections. And so that's just how easy it is for these little insects to spread infections.
Right, and create so much damage.
Absolutely.
All right, well, thank you so much for being here to share this with us.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
No problem. Stay with us. We're back right after this.
Okay, guys, we're all here because US Cellular has an incredible deal. Right now, you can get 4 lines of unlimited data for just $90. On top of that, you also get 4 free phones.
4 free phones.
Listen to Senator Tammy Baldwin.
What is your view of the Biden presidency?
It is one of the most successful administrations in generations.
Most successful in generations? Inflation is sky high. Our border is wide open. Drugs flood our streets. The world is in chaos.
One of the most successful administrations in generations.
If this is success, we're in big trouble.
I'm Eric Hovde, and I approve this message.
The Make It Ford Summer Sales Event is on. So make it your best summer ever with Ford. Get your ideal combination of power and capability. And experience hands-free highway driving technology with Ford Blue Cruise, available on select vehicles. It's the Make It Ford Summer Sales Event, so make it yours. Make it now. Get 0% financing for 36 months plus $0 first month payment plus no payments for 90 days on select Ford SUVs. Only at your local Northland Ford dealers.
This is Kathy. She's about to see her dentist. She's afraid. Not because of the drill, but because of the bill. A big bill. But Kathy doesn't need to be afraid, and neither do you, thanks to affordable dental insurance from Physicians Mutual Insurance Company. It's easy to get this coverage. Don't believe me? Call or go online for all the details. You can even have this free information kit. This isn't a discount plan or preventive-only coverage. This is real dental insurance. It helps pay for over 400 procedures. That's a lot. I'm talking cleanings, fillings, crowns, bridges, root canals, even dentures. Bottom line, you'll have help paying for routine care and expensive major work. But if you want deductibles, forget it. There aren't any. No annual maximum either. Plus, you can see any dentist you want. Stop fearing the big bill. Start saving at the dentist. Call now or go to sendinfokit.com.
Physicians Mutual, Physicians Mutual.
Want to test drive US Cellular's nationwide 5G coverage for free?
Here we go.
Hey, I wonder if US Cellular lets me stream in my... Yep, it's working.
Download the US Cellular Trius app today.
See the stories you missed or watch them again on our YouTube page. Or find us at news8000.com.
Welcome back. It's 6:52. Time for your morning news now. Federal investigators are continuing their investigation into what motivated a would-be assassin to try to take out former President Donald Trump. The shooter, identified as 20-year-old Thomas Matthew Crooks, grazed the former president's ear and left one bystander dead and 2 others hurt. The FBI is investigating the shooting as an act of domestic terrorism. In an address from the Oval Office last night, President Biden urged Americans to reject politically motivated violence.
We all have a responsibility to do that. Yes, we have deeply felt strong disagreements. The stakes in this election are enormously high. I've said it many times that the choice in this election, we make in this election, is going to shape the future of America and the world for decades to come. I believe that with all my soul.
President Biden also ordered an independent review of rally security to assess what went wrong. The assassination attempt comes as the Republican National Convention is set to kick off this morning in Milwaukee. Over 50,000 attendees, including 2,500 delegates, are expected. Delegates will select the party's presidential and VP nominees over the 4-day event. Speakers include Trump's primary rivals and prominent Republicans. Trump arrived in Milwaukee yesterday. He stated on social media that Saturday's events would not alter the RNC schedule. Taking a look at Wisconsin's race for the Senate, Republican candidate Eric Hovde made a stop in La Crosse Saturday as part of his Restore the American Dream road trip. The politician held a meet and greet on French Island, addressing numerous issues facing Wisconsinites, combating the fentanyl crisis and closing the southern border were some of the topics discussed. Hovde also offered a strong stance against the use of ballot drop boxes, saying they erode people's faith and confidence in the electoral process.
Very concerned about ballot boxes. Why did they need to come into place? They were brought about during COVID. You have deep concerns about our election integrity, and using ballot boxes now when there's no need for them, particularly that we're not in the middle of a pandemic.
Howdy also pressed on drops in literacy rates, saying only 27% of children can read at grade level in Wisconsin. The UW Lacrosse Faculty Committee recommends firing former Chancellor Joe Gao from his tenured faculty position for his involvement in online pornography. The committee's report states Gao engaged in unethical and potentially illegal conduct, violated its policies, and caused potential harm to the university. His admission of involvement in pornography was deemed the most serious misconduct. In response, Gao said, "Although this isn't the decision we wanted, Carmen and I remain firmly committed to defending free speech and expression. We're in this for the long run, and we look forward to a public hearing with the UW Board of Regents." The recommendation now goes to the full UW Board of Regents for a decision. The La Crosse Jazz Orchestra celebrated its 50th anniversary last night, marking the start of the 2024 In the Park concert series. The orchestra will perform at Riverside Park for the next 3 consecutive Sundays, bringing jazz to the heart of the city, featuring talented musicians from across the Midwest, including Madison, Stevens Point, and Minneapolis. The orchestra showcases the region's rich jazz talent.
People love the music. We love the music. We could go play this on our own and just practice and do that. It's nothing without the audience. It's so much fun.
Their featured concert will be held August 4th.
All right, we're into the dense fog this morning. It is widespread. Please take it slow out there. Do not use your high beams. You could blind other drivers out there. Take a look as we finish out the 8 a.m. hour going all the way to 8 p.m. You've got some shower activity potential as we go into the latter portion of the afternoon for La Crosse and into the evening hours. As far as Eau Claire is concerned, you have some of that going into the noon hour and then the possibility of that in the middle of the afternoon and once again into the evening. Here's a look at your highs for today. We're getting up to 89 here in La Crosse, 85 or so up in Eau Claire. And to finish out, you are looking at temperatures still a little bit warmer, but just still on the cooler side than today for sure. So we go 89 today, 83 tomorrow, and then 70s finish out the remainder of the work week.
All right, Art, KFC and Shady Rays, 2 Kentucky-based brands, have announced an unexpected collaboration, a line of co-branded sunglasses. Shady Rays CEO highlighted the glasses' quality, stating they offer the same polarization, quality, and durability as their regular line, but with a little extra flair for summer and fun in the sun that KFC brings as an iconic Kentucky brand. Sunglasses start at $54 and are available exclusively on the Shady Rays website. Well, thank you for starting your morning with us on News 8 Now this morning. We'll see you back here at noon. Until then, enjoy your day.